Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and I'm very excited for today's video. It's going to be a little bit different from most that you've seen, but basically if you're wondering what a $5,000 wholesale ancient coin buy looks like, this is it. So we've got tons and tons of bags and bags of ancient coins. They're all in flips, raw from the seller who I had aggregated these from. It's a bunch of different groups of just some very ancient coins, and what I meant to say is like a very old group of different coin collections. So again, where we are in the process, I always try to say, I'm trying to build a fun coin company and then take everybody sort of throughout the process of building that and what that looks like. So this is really behind the scenes. I'm not going to be doing as much of an unboxing video, though I do want to take a quick look, but basically this has all been purchased, and it's going to go to Spencer Miller, who's been sort of checking over all of the ancients, and he's going to do a lot of some identification verification before these get prepared to go in the Treasure Town flips and then be sold in our auctions and our direct sale on our website. But I'm going to check these out. I don't think I'm going to show every single coin, but I'm going to run through this stuff really briefly. And the other interesting thing is I'm not super aware of what we paid for these, but I'm always hyped to see some great coins in my hands, technically, that I own, that will be headed to all of you, unless we try to keep something. This is a really nice Diocletian larger phallus. There's a Trajan denarius a little bit earlier. That looks like a pretty sharp Probus Antoninianus. And some interesting, I've sold one of these before, but a nice Crispina Cistercius. Over here, that looks like a more modern item. They're claiming it's 4 Maravedis from the Dominican Republic. That could actually be valuable. I'll have to follow up with that. Here's a more familiar coin, a Philip Philadelphus, sort of Roman governors of Greek Syria, tetradrachm. And then that one's a better coin, Neapolis Campania, as long as it's real. Didrachm. We'll have Spencer take another look at that. Maybe that's the sort of one to send into grading because the surfaces maybe are a little suspicious. I'm not exactly sure. Here we've got a Gordian III and Tranquillina. He reigned after the first and second, died in 238. Right here we've got a Constantius II, Centennialis, or sort of just Numus AE3. That one's interesting. An Arcadius Siliqua. That could be worth a decent bit as well. I haven't actually sold any nice looking Siliqua coins, which is like a silver version. And then we here have a Caracalla tetradrachm. So actually kind of nice. I've sold some Roman provincial tetradrachms. This one looks a little more silver. And then right here is a Constantine the Great, also in sharp shape. So though that's interesting, it looks like the SC is kind of backwards there. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. So my understanding is that the smaller bags are going to have some higher quality stuff, and so I guess I am going coin by coin. I'm going to dump out some of the bigger bags, and maybe we'll accelerate through some of these items, but I just have too much fun taking a look. So here's a nice Smyrnian Greek bronze. We've got another Trajan denarius in pretty sharp condition. Julia Mamea. There's some interesting different female denarii. A Histian tetraball. That actually looks pretty nice, except for somewhat of a hit in the middle, but nice condition. Antoninus Felix, Roman procurators. Here's a Lysimachus bronze. We've got a pretty nicely, beautifully toned, let's see, Otacilla Severa. It's got nice toning. I don't know if that's really showing on the light here, but that's, I think, contemporary toning, or excuse me, modern toning. Another Lysimachus bronze, Julian II, Julius Hommaeus. I haven't seen as many of the Julius Hommaeus coins. I dropped a denarius. Let's see what it is. Ooh, a Mark Antony Legionary denarius. It's in very worn condition, but I've only seen a few of those. Really, really cool. So we got some good stuff here. Illyrian Dram. I don't know if I've ever sold a, it's not in great condition. I've sold some forays of that. I don't think I have sold any authentic ones that were not contemporary counterfeits. Posthumus Antonianus, a Titus denarius in worn shape. That's a pretty sharp Faustina denarius. That's great. All these nicer conditioned coins will just be really fun to sell. Here's a Philip the Arab Antoninianus, an Elemaeus dram, nice portrait. Here, these are often quite debased. Indo-Skythian Greek dram. Makes me feel good about the ones that I've been selling that I've been like, it's possibly slightly debased silver. Here's a Galerius, very sharp radiate. Constans, I have to go faster here, but that's also cool. I think that's Plautilla. Nice Roman Republic denarius right there. Very pretty. That's a great looking Indo-Scythian Hovishka tetradrachm, and pretty regular looking Byzantine coin. Byzantine phallus. I feel like we've cut down buying on those a little bit just because we bought a ton of them and trying to move up market a little bit. Interesting. Judaean says unattributed, but I recognize that. I think it's Porcius Festus, but have to figure it out. There's a Probus Alexandrian tetradrachm. It'll be good to get them out of these flips in some of these cases. Philip the First. There's a Troas dram. That one looks super interestingly toned. It's a Celtic imitation dram of the Philip III style. Vabalthus, Volusian Cistercius, a worn Byzantine coin. It's a nice Tiberius bronze. And then a Decentius, which is a slightly scarcer ruler. So, great little bag right there. We've got two more mini bags, and then this big, and I took a look at the outside. It looks like it's mostly Byzantine items on the outside. But again, for $5,000 of ancients, still not totally sure how I'm doing, but I feel like this is in line. Sometimes the margins compress as you buy more. That's definitely a phenomenon in coins. Like if you buy $100, maybe you can make more than if you buy 5,000. But we've got a Claudius Antoninianus. Let's see. Commemorative with a quadriga. These don't seem to be as great. Alexandrian tetradrachm of Aurelian. Another Rome commemorative. Constantine the Great. Constans. A lot of these seem... Okay, that one actually looks really nice. This is a cool coin. It's the Rome commemorative with Romulus and Remus, but extremely sharp detail there. So, interesting. And some neat packaging there. I don't know if that's the original flip that it would have come with, though. Yeah, these are pretty low quality items. There's, I guess, an Antoninianus of Probus, but these are pretty low grade. That's a Gallic Breakaway Empire. Constantine. Let's see. Constantine the Great. It's like an old Roma flip or something. Probus. This is not the best group of coins, if I'm being honest. I wonder if there's something in here that made it jump out. There's a Tetricus, which is slightly better, but not exactly sure why this group was bought. Also a nice Tetricus Antoninianus under the light. It's kind of obscured by the flips, but hopefully that one was bought pretty cheap. I'll find out, and I could see that not being the best bag there, but certainly there's some pros and cons as I've bought stuff. Let's do a look at everything in here, and then because there are all these individually flipped ones, the other one looks like it's almost all one collection of the same. Might all be entirely Byzantine, but this one, certainly some interesting stuff. We've got Julia Mesa, Dram Septimius Severus, Trajan. Got a very sharp looking Valerian. Most of the time those look a little worse, so that's nice. Another Hestea Tetrabol. Got a Bactrian, is that a Hermiados Soter Dram. Troas. Interesting little bronze Tremoninus Gallus. Let's see how this one looks. And let's see what they tried to charge for it. Well, it looks alright. It's not in great condition, actually. They're trying to get suggested bid 20 to 30. That seems reasonable for a little while ago. Some additional sort of a worn condition dram. Nice Chrysonosos hemidram. That's actually in pretty solid shape. That should go for a bit. A fake quarter stater. Interesting. And then a potentially real Lamia Obel. Could see sending that one in for grading just to confirm on the authenticity as well. Valens, we've got a Troas. Nice looking item. A little bit different as well. Here's a Julia Paula. They're saying list price $350 on that. That seems a bit high to me, but maybe there is sort of that premium pricing. Antiochus the 7th. Looks like certainly consistent with the Seleucid design. A Claudius Stertius. Very nice. Nice Roman Pruda. That one looks cool. Which is that? That's a Geta Denarius. 240 is too high of a price for it, but Domitian, and then the Azes the second. Again, saying that's a silver dram. Have sold, the ones I've seen look a little bit better than that, but I feel like that's kind of how those are sold. And it looks like there's some Littleton Coinco items, but certainly a nice ancient mix over here. And I think this one fell from a group of other stuff I had over here. And then, let me see. Do we want to open this? I think I'm going to. I figure kind of good luck having me not unbox coins if I have the chance to. I'm probably going to do it, knowing me, but even if they're a bunch of Anastasius, see if I can move this camera, half follis that are in bad shape, I'm still going to want to take a look. There's a, that I stands for 10, it's a decanomium. Another Anastasius Decorus, early Byzantine ruler, and it seems like we're just jumping into it. There's an anonymous phallus. I think I know the price point we paid. It seems like a bit high for the items that I'm looking at in front of me right now, but that one's maybe a little bit of a different look to it. A Maurice Tiberius half phallus, but these are in tough shape. There we have something interesting. Some sort of AUG, earlier Augustus, potentially like 1st century AD. There's a Nero coin with a Janus Temple. This one's a later Byzantine trachea. But these coins seem a little bit worn. That's a nice Christ phallus. Constantine, Alexandrian mint. Decent mix, not great so far, but that's also part of the game because we paid more than like $11 each, I think, on all these. There's a Barbarous imitation. Maybe we'll make it up. That's a nice Class B anonymous phallus. Could try to, buy it now, sell some of it for, but paying 11 for that, or I think it's like 12 for a lot of these, is going to be a losing battle. So let's see what else we've got here. There's a nice Rome commemorative. There's some nice with the wolves. That's good. That's the best type of them to have purchased. I wonder if there's any of the slightly rare. That's a decent looking Maurice Tiberius, and any of the other rare varieties. But glad to get some more Rome commems, and maybe some of these larger Byzantine. Got to get them in new flips as well. There we've got an interesting arrowhead money from Thrace. Interesting. I was thinking of picking up a bunch of those. That one's a very bronze diseased Nero. Let's see. Constantine. It's not really the best unboxing, but this is more just taking you along the ride as I sort of review a purchase, is maybe another easier way to think about it. There's a Maurice Tiberius. And then, let's see, Dronicus, there's a, interesting counter stamp, but these are in such tough condition that it's very challenging to make out much on these. Even if we sort of have a sense for when they should have been produced, it's still tough. There's a Vitellius Cistercius, but these fractions are very low. you know, in terms, or not the fractions, but the conditions are low, and so it's a good little journey. Here, this is interesting. Very, very clipped down Millier raison from the Byzantines, which is a great find. It's a silver coin. Probably in that condition not going to be worth tons, but I think I've sold like 1 or 2 Millier raison in the past. So trying to go up market as best as I can. There's a pretty decent looking Galba coin. Could try to get some more for that. Vespasian Sestertius is very nice. But then going to be sort of balanced out by some of these other lower condition ones. There's a nice Constantine. I really like the Campgate style, and then a nice looking anonymous phallus. So it really, I said I wouldn't do it. Now I'm showing every coin here. Decent Maurice Tiberius. Maybe what I'll do is I'll go through really quick, and then I'll come back and show you sort of some of my favorite 5 or 6 finds from the rest of this group, so I don't bore you with looking at low end bronzes. And I went through it, didn't find much. We have this Focus phallus. We've got some interesting anonymous phallus. Here's a Time of Augustus bronze. And then we had a sharp anonymous phallus with a little bit more detail, and a sharper Rome commemorative with the, you know, wolves and Romulus Remus, but nothing too crazy. This was also sort of a curious Focus phallus with just an X on the back for the 10 nummus denomination, but great to go through this stuff. Is it worth $5,000? Probably put a lot of effort into it. My guess is that I am not sure that this will get $5,000 back. My guess is, I think after fees and labor, it will be a break even. Maybe on the, you know, exact dollar amount, it would profit, but it'll be a fair amount of effort that goes into it. But hey, this purchase was made like 4 months ago, and you know, we were buying coins in a much different way then than we are today, and so that keeps on evolving. It's great to have that flexibility and evolving mindset, and so excited to get back after it and also post this video, which will be super fun. See you on my future ones, and I always try to keep you in the loop. If you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer them as far as I can.